everybody, and welcome to a special episode of Hunt Talk. In today's episode, we're going to be reviewing Nightmare Cleveland. Woohoo! Alright, is that good? Welcome, everybody. As you just heard from our little bug friend, this is a special episode of Hunt Talk again, where we are reviewing Nightmare Cleveland's Christmas-themed haunt. Did they have a special name for it?
The Fright Before Xmas.
The Fright. Okay, so they, yeah. I'm like, I forgot that they had a special name for it. But yes, if you've been watching our channel for a while, we did go there during the off season as well. We actually went. This is our third time going to Nightmare Cleveland. Stupid jingle bells.
Jingle bells.
Yeah. But yeah, because we went there the normal time. We went there for
the regular show.
Right, the regular show without touch passes. We went to the regular show with touch passes, and then we went back for their Christmas event. Now, I was pleased to find out they were doing touch passes for the Christmas event.
Yeah.
Because not all haunts do, like Blood Prison, for example, when we did theirs last year, they usually offer a touch pass, but they did not offer one, as far as I'm aware, for Christmas, and I think that's the same for this year. Yeah. Also, if you're watching this review, make sure you also watch our Fear Columbus review, which will be out before this one because Fear Columbus is still open the weekend after this is posted. It still has Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so I'm going to make sure that one goes up first because people might actually be interested in going to that still.
Yeah.
If you're watching this for Nightmare Cleveland, you cannot go to it this year for the Christmas event. Hopefully they do it again next year. But that being said, we must as always refer to the Book of the Dead! Book of the Dead! Book of the Dead! Book of the Dead! Alright, so, as always, we're going to be starting off with sets and props, and of course we will be talking about, like, some of the stuff they've done, like, in addition for Christmas, because that's kind of, like, the focus is talking about that, so.
Alright, so, of course, we're starting off with sets and props. They had most of the stuff that's there for the regular show, but they did Christmasify it. A lot of things wrapped up.
Lots of presents.
Lots of presents. Some you got hit with.
Yeah, we will definitely.
A lot of them
Yeah. The actor section, I think, is where we will talk more. Because, I will say they definitely did Christmasify it a little bit, like with the presents. I think there were some trees and stuff. I feel like the show changed up more in actors than anything else, though.
Yes.
But the sets and props, they, for the most part, were like the same as they were before. One of my favorite things that they did was there's a scene where there's this giant ball of goop with tentacles coming out of it. In the middle of this one room, and they wrapped it up. And
it was ripped open, like it was coming out of the present. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I thought that was really
that was pretty funny. When you first walk in, they have like a nice kind of little Christmas display going on. They have like a creepy Santa looking thing you can take a picture with. And they did have like Christmas lights and stuff like that. And I do think they changed up the lighting package in quite a few rooms to be more like Christmas tinged.
Yeah,
it definitely seemed. I will say nothing sets and props wise was super over the top Christmas though. It was a little bit maybe lighter on the decorations.
Yeah.
But still, like I said, the haunt is really good. It's no worse than it was when we went back in October or whatever for the normal show. I would have liked to maybe see a little bit more Christmas themed, going a little bit more with it, and they probably will in the future years. But overall, I think that they did a pretty good job for sets and props. We gave sets and props a 9, which is the same score we gave it for the on season because we pretty much felt like it wasn't better or worse for sets and props for the Christmas event. But yeah, now we'll talk about what we really want to talk about, which is actors.
Yes.
So where to begin? So we did get the touch pass, of course.
Yes. So let me begin because I actually experienced probably one of the first things that we experienced in the haunt. So it was 3 of us. It was our ginger friend that we like to torment and take to haunted houses. And
he likes being tormented.
Yeah, he does really.
He really likes being brutalized by haunt actors. It's like his favorite thing. It's a little strange. And eating bugs, but
yeah, our bug eater. And then, of course, Josh and I. So they went in first, and I got grabbed immediately. I didn't even get into the haunt yet, and a guy grabbed me and kind of, held me back. And he basically said, how long do you think it's going to take them to notice that you are missing? Which, thankfully, it didn't take very long because the person that was in that room actually asked you if everybody
Everyone's there.
everyone's
And we're
there.
like,
And
no.
then I look, just as soon as he said that, he was like, how long do you think it's going to take them? I see Josh, like, lean out, like, where's Kim? Like that. And I'm like, oh, right about now. There he is. So that was kind of funny. And, like, he actually wouldn't let me go, like, for a little bit longer than that. He just was like, he kept grabbing me and grabbing me. And then finally he let me go, but it was pretty interesting.
Probably one of my... there's a lot of interesting interactions in this place, but one of the most aggressive ones was right when we were in the queue line. This guy comes up and he has like a bag of treats, but there's also a pillow in this bag.
Oh my gosh.
And like one of those, like, I describe it as like the hard pillows you would see at grandma's house, where it's like you don't want to lay on it, but it's there, it's not comfortable and it's pretty stiff. He beat the living shit out of Isaac with this pillow. Like, just wailed on him, put him up against a wall and just went to town. And of course, he beat the crap out of me with it as well. I think Isaac got the worst of it. Kim got the least.
Yeah, I only got hit like a couple times, and then he gave me a piece of candy.
Yeah, well, he gave us, we all got candy
weird,
after he, like, cycled and beat a couple more people up, I think, that had the touch pass. But yeah, we got, like, candy canes and chocolate and stuff. But yeah, then you enter the haunt proper, and like one of the mannequin guys came, and he actually gave me a massage. That was kind of nice. I was like, oh, that was like the one pleasant, like, grabbing experience.
Yeah.
That we had. Now there were a lot less bug people this time.
Yes.
There were still some. Like there was one that was just like totally wrapped up in Christmas lights. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was neat.
Yeah, he was just like wrapped head to toe in like tangled up Christmas lights, which tangled up Christmas lights are a nightmare themselves. Trying to there's quite a few. Another one that we really liked was Kim mentioned about the presents being pelted at us. There was like a stack of them, and like we walk up and the guy was like kind of grabbing us lightly, and like we were walking through this big room, and all of a sudden I'm watching Isaac because we have him leading because it's funny, and I just see this present come flying through the air and just clock Isaac in the back of the head, and I'm like, oh shit. And then I look over, and then of course I get one.
I didn't get hit by a present, but I almost tripped over one of the ones that they threw because we had actually gone into another room, and a present came flying past me to hit one of them too. And I didn't know where it landed, and then sure enough, I walked through that doorway, and it was like right in front of me. I'm like, oh my god, I almost tripped over a present.
I was like, and this wasn't the only thing that got thrown at us. Later on, there was someone like throwing like snowballs at us. Yeah. So that was kind of interesting. And again, nothing like hurt us. I mean, well, the present stung a little bit because I wasn't expecting it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And they're just throwing that at us now. Isaac got one real good. Like this girl, like, I know there's a couple of them. They were just like ganging up on him, and they chased him for like a good portion where we just lost Isaac for a while because they were just getting him.
Yeah, they
just
were
slamming him, like grabbing him by the wall, or grabbing him by the throat and slamming up against walls, and just like, I'm just like, oh, there he goes.
There he goes. Like, where'd Isaac go? Oh, there he is.
Let's just be fun for these people to just like brutalize Isaac. I don't know.
They probably see him and they're just like, yay, let's do this.
Yeah, I don't know. I imagine it has to be fun as an actor, like, working on the touch pass. Like, they always seem to get so excited when they see that they can, like, grab you or, like, do whatever. Now, I will say that at the very last room of the haunt, Kim's dreams did come true. And I think it was the only one, but there was a bug with a Santa hat on.
Yeah.
It's like one of the big arm ones.
Yeah. Well, because the way they had it, and I knew something was going to happen, too, because they put, like, garland in front of the window where, like, during the normal show, somebody comes out with a big arm and stuff. And he did. He had the big bug arm, and then he had a Santa hat on. And I was like, yay! But it did terrify me because I'm like, when's he coming? When's he coming? And he waited until, like, the last possible second to pop out of there. I was like, it got me. It got me good. But I was very happy because bugs with hats.
Yeah, bug. Yeah, that was Kim's big thing. And someone actually joked because they saw we did like a preview episode of the places that were going to be open for Christmas, and they were like, "Oh, you just thought there were going to be bugs with Santa hats on?" It's like, well, No,
Yeah.
but you did have it though, and I like to think that they saw it, and that's why they're like, we're gonna do this.
Yes.
Probably has nothing to do with us saying that at all, but I like to think that we are the purpose for that. The mutant bug with a Santa hat. There's another really cool one, like this weird bandaged up, and I don't remember seeing them either time we went through before.
Oh.
A lot of the actors were like
yeah.
differently dressed, but she was bandaged up, like contorting on the floor.
Oh my gosh, that was strange.
And
yeah.
so for this, I was wearing Hey Dude shoes when we went there, and the reason I say this is because like they're very thin shoes, and she crawled on the ground and just would not stop petting my foot, and like I could very well feel it since the shoes are so thin. And then towards the end, she just grabbed a hold of my foot and wouldn't let go, and I'm just like dragging it across the floor. So that they were really interesting, and like the whole room, just the whole time, just petting my foot. We got measured. Me and Isaac got marked as defective. Some person took like a marker, like Sharpie, and wrote on our hand. But yeah, and also there was a ton of actors. Like it felt like there was just as many, if not more, for the Christmas event.
Yeah.
My guess is because, well, I'll say that in a minute. My guess is that since Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse isn't open and it's owned by the same people, they had some people maybe working from Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse to like double staff the place. Because I was at one point grabbed by an actor who looked like he was dressed as the character from Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse. I might be completely wrong. The one that would grab me by the mouth and hold my mouth shut in front of the plane area that I talked about in that review. Because he grabbed me like the same way and like kind of like grasped my mouth and stuff. And he had like what looked like a burlap like sack type of thing like face. So I wonder if that was like the same actor there. I'm not sure, but yeah. But yeah, the actors were absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
They were everywhere. They were really grabby. They were really throwy. And we got candy.
And we got candy.
So of course, actors are a 10 out of 10. We actually thought that the actors somehow were even better for this than they were for the first time we went. So.
Yeah. So moving on to scare factor. Once again, we did get the touch pass, so that adds a little extra element of scariness
Quite a bit
to
of
it.
extra element, I would say.
Being sarcastic.
Yeah.
And it was definitely like I said, I got that big got at that end part with the bug guy with the hat. I got quite a few pretty good scares. I know they got quite a few pretty good scares as well. It was pretty good.
I will say it did feel a little bit more whimsical than the normal show because they're not sticking to, I don't think, as much of a storyline there. I don't know exactly what the storyline is, but
well, what we were told before was that it was going to be like a Christmas party kind of gone wrong.
So maybe it was like, maybe the storyline was that the breakout happened this time during a Christmas party. I don't know.
Because they, like, some people were still like in their lab coats and things like that, but then they were also like had holiday decor with them and stuff,
right?
So
in the holiday decor part, especially like people like, for example, someone dressed up in like Christmas lights wrapped all around them, like, I mean, definitely added a little more of like whimsy to this show. But that being said, it was still just as scary because of all the touching and the grabbing and things being thrown at us and that. And I kind of like that element of. It's so weird to say. I kind of like the fact that things are like thrown at us like there's presents.
Yeah.
And I kind of hope they incorporate something like that into the main show because, like, the main show, one of the big things we talked about was like how there's a lot of people with fake needles that would come up and like stab you.
Yeah.
That didn't really. There might have been one person that had a needle. I don't remember. But like that didn't really happen. And instead, it was like people whacking us with presents or pillows or snowballs, that kind of thing.
My friend went with her family, and unfortunately, she didn't get to go in because her daughter was upset about it. But she said that while they were in the queue line, there was somebody that actually had one of those, those balls that are kind of like attached to like a bungee and people throw them. Well, they had taken one and put Christmas lights all over it.
Oh, that's funny.
And so it was just a big ball of Christmas lights that they were throwing at people.
Yeah, we didn't see that when we were there.
Yeah, and she said that they were attacked by this ball of Christmas lights. So that's kind of like a fun little thing that I hope they like kind of incorporate again.
But for Scare Factor, we'd give them a 10. Like I said, we thought it was just as scary as when we went for the Touch Pass for the second time this year. Value, I think the price is about the same. If I remember right, it was $24 and then $6 for the Touch Pass. It took us about 15 minutes to go through. I actually didn't time it this time. I kind of forgot with everything going on. But it felt like we were in there a little bit longer because like it felt like we were being held a little bit more.
Yeah.
Now, physically there wasn't any length added for this show.
Right.
Now again, they are supposed to be making the show longer for like next year.
Yes.
But yeah, value, we gave it a 9 because it was pretty much the same value as it was before. I think we gave it a little bit. What did we give it for value for the normal season?
Value was an 8.5.
Yeah, so we knocked it up a little bit just because it's a special event, and we felt that they did a really good job for a special event, because usually special events are a little bit more expensive anyways, because they're only, like, they, for example, are only doing this for 2 nights.
Yes.
But yep, so value, like I said, we gave it a 9. And then that brings us just to our overall score. We really liked it. We're giving it a 9.5. You know, it's really good, and I hope they continue to do a Christmas event like this, and hopefully in the future maybe they'll do like Fear Columbus, where they do it for 2 weekends.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit more opportunity for more people to check it out. Because again, we like doing these reviews, but they're not going to get as many views, or, you know, they're not going to be as helpful to people because you're not going to be able to go to this year. So hopefully they do it next year, and like this is a good judge of that. But yes, again, make sure you watch our Fear Columbus Krampus review. I'm not going to like say the ratings, but I will say you should definitely go to that one. You should definitely check out that review as well. Did you go? What was your experience like here? Make sure you're liking and subscribing, and make sure you're ringing the notification bell. The jingle bells. But thank you very much for watching, and we will see you in the next episode.
Bye.